Good morning, world. Autumn Rose here. How's everybody's morning going? Mine's going great. So we'll start today off with grace for the moment. Praise to God. Let us always offer to God our sacrifice of praise. Hebrews 13:15. You are a great God. Your character is holy. Your truth is absolute. Your strength is unending. Your discipline is fair. Your provisions are abundant for our needs. Your light is adequate for our path. Your grace is sufficient for our sins. You are never early, never late. You sent your Son in the fullness of time and will return at the consummation of time. Your plan is perfect. Bewildering, puzzling, troubling, but perfect. At the bottom it says, He reminded us of you, a prayer for a friend. Next we'll read out a Dear Jesus. I am the firm foundation on which you can dance and sing and celebrate my presence. Dear Jesus, I long to dance for you, sing praises to you, and celebrate your presence continually. However, most of the time I feel earthbound and weighed down. Worshipping you requires the engagement of my entire being. Something I delight in and yet somehow resist. Teach me how to celebrate you more consistently, more abundantly. Beloved, begin by lingering in my peaceful presence. As you relax in my everlasting arms, sense how safe and secure you are. I am indeed the rock-solid foundation on which you can live exuberantly. Dancing, singing, and praying are ways you can express your delight in me. My very presence radiates joy in vast, unmeasured fullness. When you praise me, your joy increases, as does your awareness of my holy presence. Your body may or may not be mightily engaged in this endeavor, but I see it in your heart. That is where the ultimate celebration of my presence takes place. Deuteronomy 33:27. The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. Psalm 16:11. You have made known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. 2 Samuel 6:14. David, wearing a linen ephod, ephod, danced before the Lord with all his might. And 1 Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said to Samuel, Do not look at his appearance or at his physical stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord does not see as man sees, for man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Next, we'll read out of Dear Jesus, again by Sarah Young. I love you with an everlasting love. The human mind cannot comprehend my constancy. Your emotions flicker and falter in the face of varying circumstances, and you tend to project your fickle feelings onto me. Thus, you do not benefit fully from my unfailing love. You need to look beyond the flux of circumstances and discover me gazing lovingly back at you. This awareness of my presence strengthens you as you receive it and respond to my love. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. Let my love flow into you continually. Your need for me is as constant as the outflow of my love to you. Jeremiah 31:3. The Lord appeared to us in the past, saying, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with loving kindness. Exodus 15:13. In your unfailing love you will lead the people you have redeemed. In your strength you will guide them to your holy dwelling. In Hebrews 13:8. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Alright, next we will read out of Family Feelings. Next to the very young, I suppose the very old are the most selfish. W.M. Thackeray. Look in any bookstore, at the shelves upon shelves of books devoted to early life, babies and children, their health, emotional development, care and feeding, training, and education. Then look for books about old age. You'll find a handful about death and dying, and maybe a couple on physical fitness. But nowhere in our culture do we recognize that old people have emotional and psychological needs that are different from younger people's. Old age isn't one thing. There are stages in growing old, as in other times of life. No wonder the old appear selfish. Nobody else seems to care about them at all. That's not completely true, but surviving into old age is quite a heroic achievement, yet we have no way of celebrating it. Beyond the same annual birthday observance that we make for children, to grow old is to come to terms with many losses in one's world and in oneself. Shouldn't there be some ceremony that recognizes this heroism? In old age, we hope to reach some understanding of change and constancy, what we call wisdom. If we can couple this with serenity, which is the product of a good spiritual connection to a power greater than ourselves, then we will achieve a peaceful spirit. We'll be ready for the next stage in our journey. Thought for today: serene old age comes with detachment from the world. I'll learn to tell the difference between serenity and selfishness. That is an interesting one. Next, we will go back to Proverbs. Let's see. And I believe we finished reading 19. So we'll start at 20. Proverbs 20. Wine produces mockers, alcohol leads to brawls. The king's fury is... alcohol leads to brawls. Those led astray by drink cannot be wise. The king's fury is like a lion's roar. To rouse his anger is to risk your life. Avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Only fools insist on quarreling. Those too lazy to plow in the right season will have no food at the harvest. Though good advice lies deep within the heart, a person with understanding will draw it out. Many will say they are loyal friends, but who can find one who is truly reliable? The godly walk with integrity. Blessed are their children who follow them. When a king sits in judgment, he weighs all the evidence, distinguishing the bad from the good. Who can say, I have cleansed my heart, I am pure and free from sin? False weights and unequal measures. The Lord detests double standards of every kind. Even children are known by the way they act, whether their conduct is pure and whether it is right. Ears to hear and eyes to see, both are gifts from the Lord. If you love sleep, you will end in poverty. Keep your eyes open, and there will be plenty to eat. The buyer haggles over the price, saying it's worthless, then brags about getting a bargain. Wise words are more valuable than much gold and many rubies. Get security from someone who guarantees a stranger's debt. Get a deposit if he does it for foreigners. Stolen bread tastes sweet, but it turns to gravel in the mouth. Plans succeed through good counsel. Don't go to war without wise advice. A gossip goes around telling secrets, so resist hanging around with chatterers. If you insult your father or mother, your light will be snuffed out in total darkness. An inheritance obtained too early in life is not a blessing in the end. Don't say, I will get even for this wrong. Wait for the Lord to handle the matter. The Lord detests double standards. He is not pleased by dishonest scales. The Lord directs our steps, so why try to understand everything along the way? Abstain from trapping yourself by making a rash promise to God and only later counting the cost. A wise king scatters the wicked like wheat, then runs his threshing wheel over them. The Lord's light penetrates the human spirit, exposing every hidden motive. An unfailing love and faithfulness protect the king. His throne is made secure through love. The glory of the young is their strength, and the gray hair of experience is the splendor of the old. Physical punishment cleanses away evil. Such discipline purifies the heart. 21. The king's heart is like a stream of water directed by the Lord. He guides it wherever he pleases. People may be right in their own eyes, but the Lord examines their hearts. Stop. Motives. People can find an excuse for doing almost anything, but God looks behind the excuse to the motives of the heart. We often have to make difficult choices in areas of life where the right action is hard to discern. A good first step to making such a decision is to identify our motives. For example, are we serving others in order to gain attention? Identifying our motives can help us avoid phony actions. The Lord is more pleased when we do what is right and just than when we offer him sacrifices. Haughty eyes, a proud heart, and evil actions are all sin. Good planning and hard work lead to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. Wealth created by a lying tongue is a vanishing mist and a deadly trap. The violence of the wicked sweeps them away because they refuse to do what is just. The guilty walk a crooked path, the innocent travel a straight road. It's better to live alone in the corner of an attic than with a quarrelsome wife in a lovely home. Evil people desire evil. Their neighbors get no mercy from them. If you punish a mocker, the simple-minded become wise. If you instruct the wise, they will be all the wiser. The righteous one knows what is going on in the homes of the wicked. He will bring disaster on them. Those who shut their ears to the cries of the poor will be ignored in their own time of need. A secret gift calms anger. A bribe under the table pacifies fury. Justice is a joy to the godly, but it terrifies evildoers. The person who strays from common sense will end up in the company of the dead. And this is not, I don't believe it is dead physically. It is dead spiritually and in the heart. Those who love pleasure become poor. Those who love wine and luxury will never be rich. The wicked are punished in place of the godly, and traitors in place of the honest. It's better to live alone in the desert than with a quarrelsome, complaining wife. The wise have wealth and luxury, but fools spend whatever they get. Whoever pursues righteousness and unfailing love will find life, righteousness, and honor. The wise conquer the city of the strong and level the fortress in which they trust. Watch your tongue and keep your mouth shut, and you will stay out of trouble. Mockers are proud and haughty. They act with boundless arrogance. Despite their desires, the lazy will come to ruin, for their hands refuse to work. Some people are always greedy for more, but the godly love to give. The sacrifice of an evil person is detestable, especially when it is offered with wrong motives. A false witness will be cut off, but a credible witness will be allowed to speak. The wicked bluff their way through, but the virtuous think before they act. No human wisdom or understanding or plan can stand against the Lord. And the horse is prepared for the day of battle, but the victory belongs to the Lord. I'd like to read 22, however, I do have a Bible study this morning, so I have to get boogieing on getting ready and then getting to church. So with that, I hope everybody has a blessed day. Thank you so much for joining in. Autumn Rose signing off.